California grow. Yeah, yeah. California grow. Just me and the boys doing all we know. Yeah, there's nothing quite like this place that I call home. California grow. Yeah, yeah. California grow.
Hey, welcome to another edition, everybody, of the, I said hey, I don't know if that's grammatically correct. Hello, John Cassidy here, and this is Wednesday's edition of Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts, the
radio version.
That was Chuck Smith, the editor extraordinaire of the historic Appeal Democrat newspaper here in the Twin Cities, Marysville, Yuba City, Sutter County, Yuba County, the whole world. And then,
you know, they're jealous in Oakland that they don't have a daily
the
newspaper.
Tribune's gone. We'll talk about that. And then Mr. Bob Fischetti, Everything 93Q, Everything Tower Media Empire. Bob, how are you?
Well, I'm waiting for that empire to grow.
I think you're doing a pretty good job. Yes. Get on that. By the way, folks, get on that 93Q Facebook page. Show some support. And I guess we're going to put together a pretty cool event coming up. We're going to figure something out that's going to be pretty exciting. Stay tuned for that. 93Q's rocking the airwaves in Yuba Sutter with all sorts of great community programming, music, and information. And hopefully you're enjoying Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts. I think we've been on, about a year now? Close to it?
Seems like it.
Well, what do you mean? It seems
like too long? It seemed like it's too long?
Like we just started. I mean, having so much fun, but you act like it's a chore. It seems like it's been a year.
Yeah, I've been here forever.
He doesn't even. He thinks the empires at Bryant Field are too small.
Keep building this empire is pretty awesome. By the way, I want to thank once again the Brick in Marysville downtown, Kim and her team.
Kimberly,
such good food over there. Yeah. I recommend the avocado toast and
we're thanking them because they
are the sponsor.
They sponsor the show.
A sponsor,
okay, yeah.
Yes.
And we appreciate that because people can sponsor programming, but this particular program's live.
Yeah.
And so I'm very grateful for the Brick, for Kimberly, and
absolutely.
I mean, great food, like going down there and eating. But I just think it's awesome. I love local business. So I want to support them back.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? And so, go in there today, buy lunch, buy breakfast, whatever, and go grab something to eat and find out.
Their scones are amazing. Their lunches are great. Their veggie quesadilla is ridiculous. By the way, Kurt Baird, good morning to you, our incredible board operator. By the way, the interesting thing is walking inside today, I can actually see both Chuck and Bob and Kurt. No problem, but you go outside. We've had I'm going to use a word that I don't think exists, revisitation, Chuck will correct me on that, of fog to our region over the last month and a half that we haven't seen
in years.
Extended versions of this in
I don't remember
years and
this.
decades.
Yeah, it's been a long time since the fog, and really thick a morning or so ago. I was on my way here. I'm on the road at 4:45, right? And I was on Garden Highway, and a guy on a motorcycle, you know how you can hear the motorcycle before you see it?
Yep.
And Garden Highway doesn't have a passing lane.
No.
And he went around me flying, and I thought, you couldn't see that far.
Well, they had that head-on on Highway 70.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, guys.
Last night, I think,
my appeal is drive careful.
Yeah.
I'd have pulled over, right, if I,
Yeah, you got to take extra precautions in this type of fog because you just have no distance.
When
awareness.
I was commuting to school at UC Davis, I was driving there for some sort of a test, I remember, and I decided I wasn't going to make it. I had to give it up because of the fog. And I pulled off at, that was before it was, you had 2 lanes in each direction between Marysville and Sacramento. And I pulled off at East Nicholas at that restaurant there. They had it was like they had a room you could sit in, and I just took a bunch of homework in there, sat down, and realized that I was in a room full 5 truckers, professional drivers, who pulled off because there were idiots on the road.
Yeah,
and it made me feel
like you
so
did
much
the right
better.
thing. Yeah.
That you weren't such an idiot. I got it. I like that.
I was like,
that's good.
So don't
confirmation finally.
Don't drive in the fog.
Yeah.
We all need to be
know.
encouraged by professional truck drivers
Yeah.
that we've done the right thing.
Well, they were sitting there and just going on and on about the idiots on the road. So they had all that handled. I did my homework. And
Well, the other factor about not only safety issues and driving, growing up in San Francisco in the Sunset District, you would get the fog in the morning, especially in the summers, because the coldest winter day, the old saying, Mark Twain, the coldest winter day I ever spent was a summer afternoon in San Francisco. It's in San Francisco. But anyway, the fog would roll in on that west side where I grew up, and it would be there till about 11:30 noon. Then the sky would open up. You get about an hour and a half sun, then the fog would roll back in. But the worst part of it wasn't so much it wasn't the temperature at all. It was just the dampness.
Yeah,
you feel like you're walking around with a wet blanket on you all day, and it is it's a little hard on you to get used to. That's why the great mass exodus on the weekends for people just to go see the sun all day, just going north 10 miles up Marin County or south towards San Jose just to get out and see some sun for the whole day was a big trip.
When we would drive into San Francisco for a Giants game, you look at it and you go, well, you think the fog's going to lift before batting practice?
You're talking about, and especially over at Candlestick.
Well, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, going to Kezar, because I grew up a few blocks from Kezar at Golden Gate Park there, and we used to sneak over the wall to play touch football and some tackle football when we were little kids. But that stadium, literally, there were times where you were sitting in the top tier or the upper half of the dome, the bowl there, you couldn't see the field.
Wow,
it was that bad, and I'm still pulling splinters out of my rear end from the wooden benches at that stadium.
I saw that at Honker Stadium back when I was in high school. Was the fog so thick I couldn't see the field from the top of the grandstand?
Yeah,
Chris Pettico got some great photos of a Yuba City High School soccer match against.
That was a couple years ago,
Del Campo.
right?
No, just a couple nights ago. He's got some great photos in the fog.
It's pretty, it's pretty interesting. It's
that
funny.
guy's a great photographer.
He's really good. I'll tell you,
he's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
He's dedicated to what he's doing. Yeah.
He is. He's a true professional photographer. I mean, and he just loves what he does. Interestingly, I just another throwback on Kezar. Arch Manning has been in the news sports-wise. The kid who played at Texas this year as a freshman, might be a redshirt freshman. I'm not sure, but he's Archie Manning's son, who didn't make it to the NFL, who got hurt. Not Eli or Peyton, but Peyton and Eli's nephew, Arch Manning, who was supposed to be considered the first pick in the draft this year, but he's staying another year at Texas. He would have been if Texas would have probably gone all the way or made it into the college football playoffs. Neither here nor there. I used to watch Archie, his dad. You remember Archie Manning playing for the worst team in history of football, were the early days of the new franchise, the New Orleans Saints. And I would watch Archie literally. For some reason, we would get those free Christopher Milk tickets off the milk cartons when I was a kid, and we'd go to the Niner games and sit in the end zone. And I would watch that guy. I'd watched him a couple times throw off. Literally is back on the ground 80 yards. He had an arm, Archie Manning, the dad. You think Eli and Peyton were decent. Archie could throw the ball 80 yards from on his back because he was always on his back. And, kind of interesting that the newest Manning phenom is named Arch.
You know what his dad said the day Eli was born, right?
Pardon?
You know what his dad said the day that Eli Manning was born?
No.
Eli's coming.
Oh. Okay, very good.
Reference to a great Three Dog Night song from the movie Hair. I mean, from the stage play. I think the movie too.
What, 55 years ago?
Oh, my word. Folks, this is, it's getting rougher. Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts right here at the 93Q studios.
Hey,
John
John
Cassidy, Chuck Smith, and Bob Fischetti, Kurt Baird on the board. And yes, I know
You're
Bob's
thinking about it?
Well, Bob's an investor. I think he could turn this into a Fischetti with spaghetti restaurant.
He's already got an old building.
Oh, that's right. So anybody out there, call Chuck Smith, Bob Fischetti, or John Cassidy, and we will negotiate a price for you on the Sutter County Courthouse that is now up for sale.
I'll just give you Steve Smith's phone
It's
number.
a fixer-upper, so to speak.
Is that down on 2nd Street?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that
That's
was.
2nd Street.
I thought that was a. What they archive? They.
No, it's not on any historic register, but even if it was, you could buy it.
That'd be a cool
It
place.
would have to be for sale. Yeah.
So interestingly, over the years, when I'm blanking. The city manager for Yuba City for many years before Steve Krager, he's the one that really pushed for the Gaucher and also pushed for downtown for Plymouth Street's redevelopment. I'm blanking out. He did a great job.
He was there for 20 years.
Yeah, it'll
so
come back to me.
We really shouldn't forget his name.
It'll come back.
What's the text line here?
He's a great guy. He did a great job. Anyway, he took a lot of heat for the whole downtown revival, but he did a great job. But one of the things that they had explored in their plans, and I will tell you that there's probably a good chance some of this comes back. They were looking at doing kind of a Riverwalk development down there on 2nd Street. That took advantage of, you elevate the structure so you can see the river, kind of restaurant shops kind of thing. And, it's that artery with Forbes all the way, from Plymouth Street. Then you create really a kind of a dynamic environment there and, bigger neighborhood, bigger downtown neighborhood. And if you do some stuff on the river, river walks are always kind of a big deal. Yeah. I'm not sure, with the levee system and all that, how that all could work, but I believe there was plans and ways to get that done. So the courthouse, somebody buys it, fixes it up, turns it into a restaurant, could be the first step. There you go.
So one of these old courthouses was what happened. What happened is in the last part of the 20th century, the employees in the courthouses became state employees, and then ultimately the state took over maintenance of the facilities. So the state has an equity interest in that old courthouse at 2nd and C Streets. And I think they own like 87% of the equity. So 10 years ago, they wanted to sell their interest back.
Jeff Foltz, right?
Thank you, yes.
Thank you. Jeff
Foltz.
City
Jeff
manager.
Foltz.
Great. I mean, 20 years.
I actually talked to him.
You can't.
Came back to me finally.
Almost nobody can be a city manager for 20 years.
It's next to impossible.
At any rate, so the state has an equity interest in it. There are multiple old courthouses, multiple counties, and some of them, the state got some money out of them, but they sold one for $1. I mean, they offered this back, all their equity interest back to the county for $1. The county's like, but there's $20 million worth of maintenance that needs to be done there.
Yeah. It always comes with a little bit of a catch.
The state built a new courthouse, of course, on Civic Center. So it's sitting there and
go figure, government-owned property with deferred maintenance. Huh? How's that work?
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the state's responsibility to do the maintenance right now. So,
like I said, yeah. I don't want
anyway,
to get started
there's
on that.
So the county is considering putting out a request for proposals. This has not even come up in a board meeting, but there's been discussions about about what to do with it. And
well, there's been some really, I'm aware of one place that is really good, where these type of buildings get purchased and repurposed. In Scottsdale City, the old Scottsdale City Hall is a Mastro's Steakhouse, and it's phenomenally successful in Scottsdale. In fact, the old City Hall for Marysville, isn't it at Plymouth and 20 on that northeast side on that corner? Wasn't that a city hall or a city building at one time?
Are you about Yuba City?
In Yuba City, yeah.
Yeah, at the foot of the bridge. I call it the foot of the 10th Street Bridge, essentially, but yeah, on the right-hand side.
Isn't it at Plymouth and right on the corner there?
Yeah.
I think Reimer's Accountancy used to be in there, Henry. Yeah. So, and then that's now, it's been accounting and other offices in there. But yeah, I mean, this is a cool structure that you obviously have to put a lot of effort into and a lot of resources. But Bob, you should buy it. I think it's right in your wheelhouse. Not far from your house either.
Yeah, and I could pull out of the Hart Building with 8 stories in the antenna.
If you were
that's not tall enough.
If you were to put the antenna, that's a 2-story building. If you were to put the antenna,
2 stories.
If you were to put the antenna on that, it would bounce off the levee.
And you got a river view. You could bring your boat in there. Think about it, Bob.
I'm not so sure it's tall enough for him to see the river with the levee there.
There was a mayor. I can't remember his last name. It slips me. John. What was John's last? Anyway, so one day he's talking to me about the old train tracks, right? The bridge that goes over. And he said, "You know what we ought to do with that?" And I said, "No, John, what should we do with that?" He said, "We should put, like Spaghetti Factory, put a restaurant right in the middle, and then have little trains that go up both sides to haul people up. And so the restaurant would actually be train cars.
Yes.
So that you would park them up there. Great view of the river. And I thought, that's really a great idea. But number one, you got to find the train cars, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And how do you get them in since we've removed all the tracks from everywhere? But I guess the Marysville side, there would still be a spur that could get you on that bridge. But yeah, I walked across that bridge not too long ago.
The railroad bridge?
Yeah, it's not safe. I wouldn't,
recommend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
You made it though.
It. Yeah.
What, you couldn't operate your vehicle? You thought you'd walk home?
No, they were doing a video, and we get up there, and I'm.
Did anybody yell jump?
No, but they were all like, well, I don't know if we should walk across that, because they wanted to shoot us walking across it, and I was like, I
want to be a star.
I just started walking, and it's like, but man, it was creaking. You could tell.
Yeah,
and you're not a stuntman.
Yeah, that's not the kind of bridge you want to be.
You're not a stuntman.
I'll just put it this way: I was so grateful to get to the other side, and I was not walking back over it to my car. I walked around.
Getting back to the courthouse. In Kings County, they've turned it into a restaurant with a rooftop bar.
That's great.
But a lot of counties have converted it back to things like administrative offices.
Sure.
So Sutter County's going to take a look at it. Whether the board would want to have anything to do with it, or would hope that somebody could do something with it. Who knows?
How much deferred maintenance?
Well, you know what? It has a pesky elevator. You know a building that has a pesky elevator, Bob?
Never heard of it.
Yeah. That's just one thing, though. I mean,
it's pure quality here in the heart.
No,
yes.
Their general services department, they prepared a bunch of great information about the building, about its history, about what other counties have done, and they noted there's about $20 million worth of deferred maintenance.
Okay.
So,
that's a lot of money, even if you got the building for $1.
Right. Well, that's
$20 million. I mean, you can buy this building for a whole lot less.
Well, the upside is that building has jail cells in it.
Oh, well, that's exactly what Bob needs. Yes.
Oh, do not.
One that Juan Corona spent some time in.
Yeah, my dad was his bailiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dad brought Juan into the courtroom and out of the courtroom. Yeah.
Oh, so interesting.
And Gary Tyndall, God rest his soul, a former sheriff, he almost did the state of California a huge favor, because the night that he was in that cell, Gary's first or second night as a jailer, that's where he started his law enforcement career as a deputy jailer there, and Mr. Corona was screaming from his cell that he was having a heart attack, and finally Gary brought him a couple aspirin, and when Gary came back the next day, it turned out they had to take him to whatever the hospital was at the time. I don't know if it was Fremont or Rideout or...
Oh, so he really was having a heart attack.
Yeah, Gary gave him some aspirin. If he hadn't given him the aspirin, those trials might not have cost us all that money and keeping him in jail, Mr. Corona. So, yeah, interesting stuff.
The response there is, hey, I'm not a doctor, I'm a deputy.
By the way, talk about deferred maintenance and historic buildings. The Cliff House Restaurant in San Francisco is going to be coming back in one form or another, and it's going to start, they're phasing it in, starting, I think, in June of this year, which will be interesting, because that's a famous spot, as we all know, right there off the Great Highway. What was the Great Highway? Now it's sort of a park.
Right there on the Pacific Ocean.
Right on the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, at the end of Geary Boulevard. Yep.
So the courthouse property was gifted to the county of Sutter by Sam Brannan.
That's right.
Yeah. So that particular location is where folks came together in the 1860s.
Well, there used to be a swimming pool right there.
There
used to be a swimming pool right at the edge. I guess it would be just north of there. There was a swimming pool, I guess, up against the city pool was kind of up against near the levee there. I don't know if you knew that. I thought it was
closest to the 10th Street side, but...
Well, maybe so. But right in that vicinity, there was actually the city swimming pool.
Yeah. In the 1860s, that was where people gathered and decided that they needed to tax themselves to build levees. And that was basically, they came together and made the decision to put on the ballot the question of forming the very first
levee district
in California. That's why levee district number 1 is at Yuba City. The other thing about that property is that
so we need a road district then.
Bobby Kennedy was there in 1968.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Had about 2,500, 3,000 people showed up at that location.
Yeah.
You were there? Yeah. Oh, that's right. You told me that. Yeah.
Man, you're as old as I am.
Yeah. But there, as far as I know, there, in terms of we searched, there's no state or federal historic designation. Some of the other courthouses that General Services looked at, they are on the list, but I don't know whether what the
I don't think we've sold Bob at all. I don't think he's buying it. You're not buying it, are you, Bob?
Buying it. No. Yeah, when I
your elevator works half the time.
Yeah, it's like I got a great elevator. I'm not moving with it. I got 8 stories, and we're in 3 of them. I would like to have the rest of it, but I just think it's I grew up back east where buildings were old. I was in a house that was over 100 years old, and you come out to California and they go, that building is over 100 years old, and I go, new construction. It's like but these older places like that, I mean, I don't know what the maintenance is on that, but they were well constructed.
Absolutely.
I mean, that whatever has to be done.
Let's start with a new roof.
Yeah, that's different.
I mean, things like that. They're big ticket items.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So anybody that would like to go in on that building with me, and you'll donate the $8 million in maintenance,
you'll kick in the buck.
I will kick in the look. As a matter of fact, Cassidy and you and I are going to go together, 33 1/3 cents each.
I don't have any more pennies. They stopped making.
We stopped making pennies, Bob.
Well,
and if you haven't got a penny,
I'll tell you what, if you'll come out, if you'll just
John, we will Venmo.
Got it. Very good. We'll do electronic pennies. By the way, let's get back to a little bit of food. City Cafe reopening today after a few weeks having to close because of some serious roof issues with water. Anyway, they got it all figured out and redone, and so it should be a lot of fun. So there'll be a Cassidy salmon salad or 2 or 10 or 20 sold today and tonight because everybody's excited to get back into the City Cafe.
With that roof issue, their drinks aren't watered down.
Oh, that's we'll find out. I hope not.
Yeah.
I would like
they
to.
always make a good drink.
I would like
there.
to go
Good
back
joke.
there, but they took the piano out. I just am
Bring
not
your guitar.
comfortable.
Just bring your guitar. Yeah, we're gonna have a welcome back party here.
We
I think
do
February
that. We should
12th.
do.
Yeah.
That'd be really wonderful to do that. Nice. I just want to say this. The gal and her son, Tony, and I can't remember the son's name.
Tyler. Yeah. That own it and
They're
operate.
just, folks, sometimes you only see the business. I'm telling you, these are good people.
They're rock stars.
And so do yourself a favor. Go in there and eat and just ask to meet one of them.
They're great. Tony and Tyler,
I mean?
the whole team, and Cecilia's their manager now. She's killing it, and they actually catered Cam Frey's Celebration of Life. We had Saturday at Peachtree, 100-plus people strong. It was really good. In fact, Cam made this famous salsa. In fact, he kind of taught me the recipe. I used it as my base for my salsa. So I made 60 jars of his salsa as Cam's final batch of salsa to hand out at the Celebration of Life. So that was kind of fun. Label that. And what a good dude. So class act. And his legacy is going to live on here in Yuba Sutter for a number of years. We'll go into that later on. But that was a really nice event. So
I just want the folks that listen to us to know this. Yesterday was National DJ Day. And I didn't get a card, a kiss my foot, nothing from either of these guys.
No, I gave you a bottle of wine. I gave you, and I was ahead of the curve.
What's that?
Oh, you didn't get the card with it? Oh, I don't know what happened to the card,
listen,
Bob.
This is what's funny. I found that out this morning. I didn't even know it was National DJ.
Well, yeah, here's John's wine tip of the week. CSUN, which is a Caymus product. Charlie, the youngest son, his version of Pinot is 23 version with the new label. It's beautiful. Highly recommend it. Great price point, under $20 a bottle, and insanely good Pinot. CSUN. Look for it. It's good stuff.
So where can they find that?
Well, I would assume it'll be at New Earth soon and some other stores locally, but Yeah, it's requested if they don't have it, but it's out there. You can find it. CSUN Pinot 2023, and it is drinkable day one. It's really nice. Tell me what you think of it when you drink it. I gotta get Chuck a bottle.
I want to thank John for giving me a bottle of wine.
Usually he just drops a $5 into your hat.
So Chuck, sad news to report a little bit. Obviously, there's been some crazy break-ins lately. While crime is getting, in our regions, pretty manageable, thank God, knock on wood. We're not like some other parts of the country, but smash and grab at Duke's the other night. Is that right?
Yeah, somebody busted their big plate glass window.
They did that at Country Butcher a few weeks ago. Isn't that crazy? And then what was it? Friday they had the smash and grab.
Oh, Sunday. Yeah, that was
at the jewelry store in Yuba City. Four crooks went in there. They caught 2 of them. Right?
Yeah, they had a witness who followed the getaway car.
Yeah,
was on the phone the whole time.
Well, it wasn't really the getaway car; it was the get caught car.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
So they
good.
No, so Yuba City Police responded real quickly. Apparently, there was a
that's why we have a
panic alarm,
that's why we have less crime up here. Our police officers got on it and did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. Really, we have 5 law enforcement agencies, not counting Beale, right? But Beale's different, but. We have Sutter and Yuba County Sheriffs. We've got Yuba City, Marysville Police Departments. And then also we have CHP office right here.
Yep.
Wheatland,
so 5 agencies.
Wheatland Police Department, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's that time of the show again, Bob. It's your time.
Oh, you're listening to KETQ 93.3 LPFM, Yuba City.
Yeah, we don't want to get arrested.
In Marysville.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Covered it all. Good stuff. Yes, and James Gallagher, good luck. We love you for everything you've done for our community. He is unfortunately having to run for Doug LaMalfa's seat. Congressman LaMalfa passed away a couple weeks ago.
They're having a memorial service Saturday. Yeah.
His memorial service is Saturday up in Chico. They're expecting 2,000 to 5,000 people. It's at the Silver Dollar Fairgrounds. And our prayers and thoughts with the whole LaMalfa family, the LaMalfa team. You would consider James part of that team. They were really close for many, many years. James's first job in politics was an intern with Doug's assembly team down in Sacramento. And, of course, James has been the past assembly whip, the leader of the Republican Party in the California State Senate or California State Assembly a couple of times, done a heck of a job, and unfortunately he has to run for that seat. A little bit of controversy in that whole timing of that, but that'll play out, and wishing James all the best and his team in continuing to lead for the North State.
So does he run for that office?
Former supervisor, by the way, James Gallagher in Sutter County.
Right.
Yep.
So does he run for that spot just for the remaining?
Yeah, for like a month and a half. Well, and then it depends on what the Supreme Court does with Prop 50. They just got a motion filed or a request filed for an injunction on that until it's adjudicated. I don't think they're going to get it, but if they do, that could change how that all kind of plays out. But stay tuned for that.
Well, that sounds funny to me to have an election just for a 2-month position.
Well, all U.S. congressmen have to be elected. They cannot be appointed. Senators can be appointed by the governor to replace if something happens like this. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole different animal. So stay tuned for all that. And by the way, did you hear my interview with Sean Hannity?
Yes, thank you for sending that.
So my good friend
that was cool.
Wayne called up Sean and said, "Hey, John, I sent him my notes on Iran, which I still think is the biggest geopolitical event of our lives. Sent him my notes just because he's very interested in geopolitics, and he had Sean's producer call me, so I did a little segment on Iran. Folks, keep your eye on that. 100 million people fighting for freedom and democracy. Stay tuned on that. That's the biggest story that's pretty much unreported.
Do you see that Sites Reservoir Authority? They have a lead contractor now for the first phase.
And there was a little controversy because they're from Montana, but that's got to be a real specialized project, right?
Yeah, the important thing is they made a decision.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And
exactly.
So they're hoping to get their water right permit from the state by June or July, and hope to be.
So can I move my houseboat from Shasta down there anytime soon?
I'm going to say they say 6 or 7 years to build out once they start.
I might not be around in 6 or 7 years, but That's that's great news, and that's another project that obviously Doug LaMalfa, James Gallagher worked tirelessly on for the North State to get more water storage, and that's been the interesting thing about Sites Reservoir is the project was actually approved, I believe, in the mid-'40s, and much like the Marysville Dam, both were never funded, even though they were approved at one point. Obviously, they have to reapprove based on new requirements, regulatory-wise and safety-wise, as things change over the years. But finally, that looks like it's something that's going to happen. So stay tuned on Sites Reservoir. And so, what is that, 40 miles from here? I don't even know it's that far. Is it that far?
Well, it's on the Colusa.
It's on the west
Glenn
side of
County.
5.
Yeah, it's on the Colusa Glenn County line.
It's kind of in a natural valley, a beautiful valley there, where it's not really a difficult construction project per se when you look at dams.
Yeah, it'll impound a couple of small bodies of water, a couple of creeks.
Yeah.
And then, but the idea is they're going to be
pumping water
out of the Sacramento River
in high water years. Yeah.
Yeah. When the Sacramento River is rising, after rains, it'll take off the overflow. So you'll have
it's about the third the size of Oroville, or is it closer to half?
I don't know. I want to say
it's pretty good size.
It's 1.5 million acre feet or something like that, which is a third of Oroville's like 3.5 million acre feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Oroville's more in a bowl than it is spread. Like Shasta has 400 miles of shoreline, roughly, just right at 400, and then Oroville has about 100 miles of shoreline, which is kind of interesting. That's the difference. But Oroville's more spread out than, or Shasta's way more spread out.
And it's deep. You need a really long leader on your fishing pole.
Fischetti and his clans, when they bury people, it's usually in deep water. Isn't that right, Bob?
Yeah. The idea is that they don't pop back up.
Well,
and actually, to Chuck's point, we don't want anybody hooking them either. And there's no point in it because we already took their watch and rings. There's nothing there.
Right.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm going to hear
some
about
of the
that later.
Stereotypes that is just thrown out here on this.
Yeah, I saw the somebody posted the memorial on I believe it was 1976 is when the bus from Yuba City High School lost its brakes on the Carquinez Bridge and killed it. It went over the side and killed 26 students. I think
1976.
So that's 50 years ago, right?
Yep.
Wow. That was sad moment in Yuba Sutter history or Yuba Sutter lore.
When you're over at the Sutter Theater Center for the Arts, in the lobby, take a look at the. They have a memorial.
That's right.
There, and also there's one outside at Yuba City Hall.
Yeah.
Along Butte House Road there. If you're out there, at the Veterans Memorial, just to the west a little bit, there's a memorial for the
bus crash victims.
Yeah, and survivors. Yeah,
and survivors. Yeah, yeah.
I was a sophomore at Yuba City High when that happened. Yeah.
And was it the band?
It was a choir.
Choir, that's right.
And choir, Dean Esterbrook was the choir director, and his wife was on the bus.
Wow.
She was also really popular with us kids because she could perform, she could sing, and she was a teacher as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so unfortunately she was lost. And then Dean Esterbrook passed away, I think,
just
about
recently,
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It's been, Wow. It was quite a story. I was actually in the newsroom at the Appeal Democrat working at the sports desk that day, and one of the assistant administrators from the school district happened to walk in with a press release about something, and they just set him down in the chair, and he was on the phone getting information. So Appeal Democrat was an afternoon paper. That accident happened 9 or 10 o'clock, and they had a pretty robust story about that. And remember, it was Time Magazine did an article about the bus crash and infamously compared Yuba City to American graffiti, Yuba City fast food restaurants, cruise, and all that other stuff.
My mom wrote them a letter because they called it a seedy little town full of bars, and she got really upset about that.
Well,
so, anyway,
Time Magazine did that story.
Yeah.
But
I think
fortunately,
you could call every city in America a city town with city little towns with bars, because growing up in San Francisco, every single neighborhood corner had a bar. I don't think Time Magazine was calling San Francisco a seedy little town at the
Fortunately,
time.
there were survivors, and a few of them I went to kindergarten with. Mm-hmm. So it was a tough time.
Sure. That's a game changer right there.
10 years later, Rand McNally did it worse.
Oh, yeah, no. How'd that work out? They picked Pittsburgh at the time as the best city. By the way, Pittsburgh's come a long way. No disparaging Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh was number 1 and we were number 3.
I heard Lon Simmons go off in a spring training game in an A's broadcast about, look, I worked in Yuba City.
Right.
Pittsburgh is not the best place. Yuba City is nice.
You mean the Lon Simmons?
The Lon Simmons.
The Lon Simmons broadcast booth is at Levi Stadium. Mm-hmm. It's Lon Simmons broadcast studio where they do the broadcast from the 49er post game and halftime. And then, of course, Lon Simmons is in a particular Hall of Fame. Anybody have any idea beside the broadcast?
Yeah, the Yuba
College Hall of Fame.
Yeah, So the San Francisco Giants, 49ers, A's. I don't know what else.
All started right here in River City.
Well, at the KUBA radio station. He was
doing the college games
and the high school games.
Yeah, the Colusa Comet.
He too may have seen a foggy game.
Oh yeah,
at Honker Stadium.
And let me tell you, Lon knew where the seedy bars were. He and that whole crew.
And of course, those of us who went to Marysville High School sometimes used to change that N to an O on the back of that stadium, right? Yes.
Oh yeah. Of course. Okay, guys. Bob, any other updates for the week?
No, I think we're doing good. I just want this fog to lift. People drive safe. I say that every morning, but Caltrans, sends us a little thing that tells us, the things you should do. And the two main things is, number one, slow down.
Yeah, big time.
That's number one. Number two, don't put your high beams on.
Yeah, no, don't
do that. Keep the low beams on.
Well, most people have said, Bob, one thing, Chuck's been in a fog for many years. So this is probably healthy for him. The rest of us are living in Chuck's fog.
I remember, sorry, this is
just a cheap shot.
I remember with a Paul Harvey story, seriously, about a couple guys who were driving in the fog, and one leaned his head out the window and struck the head of the other guy gone the other way.
Oh, yeah, I sort of remember that, actually.
Paul Harvey story.
That's scary.
That'll ring your bell.
Yeah, that's not good. That'll end your bells. Okay, guys, well, great job. Another edition of Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts. The radio version in the books. Don't miss the Weekender edition of the Appeal Democrat every Saturday for Chuck's column, Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts, the written edition. Bob Fischetti, you're looking good. Let me know how you like the Sea-Sun Pinot Noir.
I will. I plan on having that with some serious Fischetti spaghetti.
I like it. And Kurt Baird, stay out of trouble, stay off the bagpipes. And we will see you again next Wednesday. This has been John Cassidy, Chuck Smith, Bob Fischetti, Kurt Baird on the board right here from 93Q. Have a great week, everybody.
California grow, yeah. California.